Hey guys, welcome back to Gear Facts. Today I'm looking at the classic Boss ME-8B. I have demoed this pedal a few times with 6-string guitars because I just love the distortions that it has. But today I'm going to do it with a bass. And we'll start off with a really simple patch and I'll go through the effects that it offers. So we're sounding like this. Okay, and pressing the edit mode, we'll go right to the beginning where we see we have a compressor there. If I change some settings here, that can also be a defretter. So you get that more bulbous kind of sound that a fretless bass will give you. Moving on, we've got our Octave Control. So if I take octave off, we're just sounding like this. Put it back on. We'll leave that on for the moment. Next on the chain is Overdrive. So that's the turbo overdrive, and we've got bass overdrive. Distortion set pretty high. This does go pretty far with distortion. Let's go down to about 10. Yeah, that's a nice gutsy sound. I'll switch that back about halfway, and we'll go back up to our distortion selections. Next one we've got is heavy distortion. And then fuzz, two kinds of fuzz. This is the first. And then heavy fuzz. I do like this one because it makes chords sound so good. Probably need to take that octave sound off to get these chords really right. Let's turn it back to the original overdrive effect, just because that's something that we can work with a bit more with the subsequent effects. Moving along, we've got our humanizer and or equalizer. Let's switch it on. That's with our EQ on, and that's a dry signal. Let's listen to the humanizer though, which is not terribly useful but good fun to play with. This is an effect that you can substitute for the phaser, which is conspicuously missing from the effects selection. And the idea is you can change the vowels that the voicey sort of sound switches between. So that's going from A to I. So let's change it from E to, I don't know, U. And you can make any combination of those that you like. Pretty good fun. Moving along, we've got our synth bass. This is one of the more pronounced synth sounds. And you can change various parameters like resonance and sensitivity, those kinds of things. Now we've got touch wah here. Flanger and chorus. The flanger is set a little bit extreme today. That's a bit more subtle. And chorus, you have a heavy flanger, standard flanger, stereo chorus and standard chorus. The stereo chorus is really nice, I think. And some delay. And finally reverb, which is self-explanatory. What I'm going to show you now is something I find particularly exciting about this pedal, and that is the CTL or control pedal down here at the end. What this can do is control any of these dynamic actions here within this little grid. So you press the edit button and go down to assign your control switch and choose a number that corresponds with something in this grid. The first position is off. Next one is pedal wah. Now you have to agitate the CTL pedal to get that wah effect. So I'm just going to play one-handed a little bit and give you a feel for that. So it's a good substitute and a good space saver for an actual expression pedal. The next one is ring modulator. It's really just a sound effect, but of course it has its place. I think it's eclipsed a lot though by 2-2, which is the intelligent ring modulator. This one stays on all the time without you pressing the control pedal, and the other nice thing about it is that it harmonizes itself to the notes that you're playing, so you won't just get lost in ring modulated madness. So it's still very blocky sounding, but you've got music there as well. And if you press it in, you get this. Just like the previous one, but quite a lot more intense. So of course you do that right before the drop in your song. Next one in the chain is the slow attack. So if you get your timing just right, you can get a nice soft. Next one, arm down. This is another fun one. So it'll just drop you right down one octave. And you can also make it go down just a little bit. Handy. And then the exact opposite. Whole octave. Next up we've got the trip effect, which is much the same thing as the last few, but it lets the dry signal through as well. Another variation on the same thing. Next one, this one's nice, is vibrato. So if you want a nice, even, digital sounding synth-like vibrato, then this is perfect. The next one is Synth Hold, so what we have to do for that is switch on our synth. It'll just hold the last note that you play until you walk away and step off that pedal. So you could hold that note. Bit hard to demonstrate with one hand, but you get the idea. You can play a kind of a subterranean note while doing a bit of melody over the top of that. Next is tap tempo. There are a number of settings for number 8. Normal signal. And that's just introducing the octave effect. Next one introduces the overdrive or distortion. The synth. So just an on-off switch for the synth. Add the chorus or flanger. So I just have that to a bit of subtle chorus there. Number 6, we can switch on our delay. Delay on, delay off. Then we have the same thing for reverb. And then our last setting is just to switch on the tuner. Anyway, that is it. My overview of the Boss ME-8B. I could go into a little bit more detail, but really I just want to finish up by saying it's incredibly fun.